Hi, y'all. I'm Allison. Apparently, we're not done setting things up for Orilium because I just got another quote. It's only been maybe an hour or two since I sent Nosilla her list of books that she should use for the Magical Readathon hosted by G. I mean, her supplemental books for her second year at Orilium Academy. Her guidance counselor has recommended that she re-enroll in the electives that she did last semester, and it's probably a good idea because I have heard reports that she is kind of a disaster up in the skies. Her and Fenris on a dragon, no, it strikes fear in everybody. So it's probably really good that she brush up on her skills, get a little bit more practice time, and it's always a good idea to stay current when you're a Bog Cataloger or apprenticing for Apothecary. And I'm sure there's been some new breakthroughs in Sandship Engineering. So this isn't a bad idea. I also suspect that the administration of the school thinks that by keeping Nosilla enrolled in busy in as many classes as possible, that hopefully that will curtail the free roaming that Fenris has when she is not occupied, because her little wolf, he still behaves as a puppy, but he is getting quite bigger and he's still as mischievous as ever. I suspect that's the real motivation that the school has to encourage her to get back into these extracurriculars. So, you know what? She asked me to help pick the books that she should use during these classes. And of course, as a mentor, I must come through for her. So we need to play a 1 to 3 again to pick 4 more books because, I don't have enough on my list. All right, we are going to start with that dragon riding because it's really important that Nosilla get a better handle on those dragons. For that, we've got 3 books that we're going to have to narrow down to just 1. Our first option is Aragon is Back, Seraphina. Learning about Seraphina will most assuredly help her understand dragons better. I'm sure you remember that one from the last video. Hopefully we'll get it on there this time. If not, we have dragons in Clash of Kings. At least I'm assuming we do. This is part 2 in Game of Thrones, and I really am excited to get back into this. And it looks like it may be a mechanical dragon, but that's a dragon. So this continues on Percy Jackson's universe, starting the Hero of Olympus series with The Lost Hero. This time it's the Roman gods. This is a reread. So is Aragon. Okay, if you've seen 1 to 3, then you know I have to stack these in a particular order, and then a spinner wheel is going to decide which one I'll actually be reading. I mean, what Nosilla will be reading. Yeah. And our order is easy. A to Z. Straight up, A on the top, Z on the bottom. So let me alphabetize. A and or V does not count. Easy peasy. Clash of Kings, Aragon, The Lost Hero. So let's give it a spin and see if the top, middle, or bottom book is going to be the winner. Okay, let's see which one wins. I want Aragon or Lost Hero or I don't know. Middle. What's a middle? Aragon. Get to read it. And I also wanted The Lost Hero and Clash of... Yeah, I wanted to read them all, but I get to go back and read Aragon. I've been trying so hard to get this on my TBR, and I finally did it. So it has been a very long time since I've read this. I've read it... How many books are in this series? I think there was like 4 originally, or is it just 3? So I've read it at least 3 times, because I used to start back over at the beginning every time a new book came out. So I am excited to get back into it. It has been a really long time, and this will get me closer to reading Murtaugh, which I picked up maybe a couple months ago. All right, this is the first one. I mean, that Nosilla will be reading, yeah. And Seraphina will definitely teach all about dragons. Nosilla's next elective was Apothecary Keeper. There are way more plants that she needs to learn. So let's grab that stack of books. These are ones with plants on the cover. I have A Lord of the Fly Fest by Goldie Moldavsky. She's the author of the Mary Shelley Club, which is a book I absolutely love. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I believe it's a retelling of The Lord of the Fly, which I have never read. And as you can tell by the sticker, this is a Once Upon a Book Club YA selection. So it will have presents, And it's short. And then another one is The Depths by Nicole L'Esperance. They're on a secluded island and it's full of ghosts, I believe. Owl Crate, YA. And our last option is 10,000 Doors of January. Tons of beautiful flowers on it. This is a book about books. Okay, let's find out what order we need these in. And genres. Uh-oh. If they're all different, I can do this because I have 10 different genres that I use for cataloging every book I read. No, we've got fantasy, and those might all be fantasy. So let's redraw. I think that was probably a bad prompt for in here. Or criteria, rather, because typically if you're looking for a themed item, you're going to be pulling from the same genre. For example, fantasy, plants, it's a big theme. Anyway, rating. Okay, so I need to go look this up, see what the rating is on all of these books, and I'll be right back. Okay, lilies are right in front of the camera, of course. Okay, so we want a lowest on the top. Here's our order. Lord of the Fly Fest has the lowest with a 3.9, but it's only 342 people. Small sampling. And The Depths is 3.89. It's only got 504 reviews. 10,000 Doors of January is at 4.06 with 24,821 reviews. So this one seems pretty beloved. This could go either way since it is such a small sampling. Okay, there's our order. We need to spin the wheel and find out which one of these Nosilla and I will be reading. Okay, I'm hoping for Lord of the Fly Fest. I want to open the presents. Last. Dang it. 10,000 Doors of January. Oh, I mean, I'm sure it's good. It got the best rating, but I just... This one hasn't been calling to me at all, so hopefully I will absolutely love it. So we've got January, Scholar. She's the ward of a wealthy benefactor, Mr. Locke, and she feels like she's just a piece of furniture in the house. You know, she's largely ignored, I would assume, and life is rather boring and drab for her. But she finds a strange book, one that tells a tale of secret doors of love, adventure, and danger. So for the first time, January realizes she can escape her story and sneak into someone else's. I think this is a portal of 3 books, which actually, now that I think about it, will be a lot of fun. I'm glad this one made the list because I keep skimming past it, and it's probably going to be one that's right up my alley. So I will find out one way or another. I mean, Nosilla, yeah. Well, no, I'm taking the classes with her as, you know, support, because I'm a good little mentor. Okay, a Bog Cataloger. You know, there's a lot to learn out in the swamps, out in the water, all these plants and wildlife out there. So Nosilla is going to continue her studies in that, and we need something with water on the cover. First up, I have Tidal by Amanda Hawking. This is part 3 in the Water Song. I believe there's 4 in this series. It's a lot of fun. I think Mermaids, Sirens, YA. I think I'm really enjoying this series and will be glad if I can continue on. Definitely water all over the place. Then we have Iceberg by Clive Cussler. We've got some water down here, and Iceberg is, I'm counting it. It may not look like a pool of water, but yes. This is part 3 in the Dirk Cussler series, and I'm now doing like an experiment to find out how far into the series you have to go before he figures out how to write women in a acceptable manner. Because at the beginning, no. But this did start out in the early 70s, so it fit the times. And I do still enjoy the adventure novels. So this is kind of like James Bond meets Indiana Jones. Good times. Okay, so this is our second one. And because I'm really trying hard to get a Once Upon a Book Club on there, and I love Jessie Cusitonto, this is a body of water. Well, that was unexpected. This is a YA romance. Contemporary romance. It's going to have humor, romance, and intrigue. Emily Henry says it had her laughing out loud within the first 5 pages. I love Jessie Keats Sandship. She is auto buy for me. Okay, so this is our third. We're going to turn this backwards to mark our ebook. Okay, so let's find out what our criteria is. And we have to stack it. I don't like these. I don't know why I put them in there. By number of reviews on Goodreads. Let me go look at that. This time we're going highest to the lowest. Okay, these are all pretty much in the same ballpark of each other. They're not terribly popular, but that's okay. With the most amount of reviews, we have Well, That Was Unexpected with 911. Then a title came in with 665, and not too far behind that was Iceberg with his 620. We need to spin. I want the top or the bottom. The middle would work. Yes, I got the top. I get Jessie Keats Sandship with presents in a YA romance, and it's not too long, and this will be fun. I don't even know what it's about. Oh, that's right. In her book, she describes the culture. I can't remember. I don't know if she was Philippines or Singapore. Anyway, they tend to use celebrity names for their children. So says as soon as I walk in, I spot them. George Clooney, Tanya Waya, sitting casually in a booth, scrolling through his phone. Oh, it's a glance across the room, and she thinks there's something. They're going to be connected. Breath catches at something real for a split second. Both are unmasked, and she's seeing the boy behind the big name and finding that he's just as vulnerable as she is. She blinks, the moment's gone, and she reminds herself to breathe. So we're going to have a little bit of a romance, and I know it's going to be full of all sorts of wacky, hilarious situations, and I am so here for it. And there'll be gifts. So this will have a dedicated video where I let you know what I think about the book as I'm reading, and open the presents. Open the presents. Unopening would be wrapping them, wouldn't it? Yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to find out what's inside. Oh, I dropped my thing. Last up, we have a Sandship Engineer. She needs to keep up with all those rules and regulations. We don't want to have any faulty machinery out there. And to do that, she needs to learn more about the desert. So we need a book with the desert setting. First up is Holes by Louis Sakar. Probably butchered that. I have seen this movie, Disney movie, if I remember correctly. I love it. Classic. I have never read the book, so I'm really excited for this. They have to dig holes as part of like a reform school kind of setting, reform camp, whatever you want to call it. And there's a mystery. And at part 2 of The Maze Runner, we've got the Scorched Trial. So they're in a desert setting this time. Love to reread that one. Have read it before. And I thought this was a chance to get one of the more intimidating books off of my shelves. Because using time blocking, it'll break it down into more manageable pieces than trying to read right through. So I'm putting Dune definitely in a desert. Chunky monkey, but very pretty. I originally bought this for my nephew, and apparently he is no longer interested, so kept it for myself. I did enjoy the movie. I don't know how I felt about the book. I've heard it's very slow and can be quite dry, but being in the desert might be a good thing. All right, we've got a couple pieces left. Let's get one and find out what order they need to go in. Title length, word count this time. That's not going to work because Dune and Holes, just one word. So we're going to pull another one. Okay, let's take, I don't know. Oh, go with this one. A to Z by author. Just straight up A to Z, A on top. Easy enough, Dashner, Herbert, and Sasha, I don't know. Of course, give me the one where I have to pronounce the name and butcher it twice. Because, that's just how it always works out. Okay, let's spin and find out which one of those is going to win. Guess which book I don't necessarily want to come up. guess what book it might be best if it came up? Otherwise, I don't see me putting it on there anytime soon. Okay. Last. Holes. That'll be fun. It's been a very long time since I've seen the movie, and I think I've only watched it like once or twice. I remember there's Stanley Yelnats, and his family has been cursed for generations because something with his grandfather, his no good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather. It all started with him. So now Stanley has been unjustly sent to a boys' detention center, Camp Green Lake, where the boys build character by spending all day, every day, digging holes exactly 5 feet wide and 5 feet deep. There's no lake, but there are an awful lot of holes because they're out in the desert. So I'm really excited to read this. If I have time, I'll watch the movie when I'm done. If not, then try and watch it in May. All right, so these 4 books will round out Nosilla's curriculum for the spring semester at Orilium. 10 books, plus the 6, but 1 deviled up. So we'll say 5 from Just Spin It and 3 from my extras. So 18 books. And I will be using a bell schedule, time blocking 10 of them. What could go wrong during the month of April? Quite a lot, I'm sure. So I need to send the crow off to Nosilla so she has the titles of the last of her books that she needs. And then she'll let me know what the bell schedule is going to be. When her classes are, what time of day I'm going to be reading which book. Because I'm going to be bouncing between the books all day long, all week long, until we reach exams. So to learn more about that, keep an eye out, because day after tomorrow, hopefully, I will have this bell schedule, exam schedule all set up. You know, where the fake cards are coming back. So, because we'll be going to school at Orilium. All right. Bye. I got my work cut out for me. I'll see you.